if this amendment passes, and if the school budget is reduced by that amount, what is the pragmatism that's going to happen? How will the reduction be dealt with?
In our thoughtful process of going through the budget as a budget committee, really the only place that we would be able to cut are teachers. There's no extra stuff in there, so the $250,000 would be staff.
Thank you. My question goes to how do you physically make the change and re-present the budget, or what's the protocol?
I don't know that we can completely address this issue because this isn't something we prepared. But I can tell you that during the budget process, there were things that came up. One example was, I believe, 5th grade next year will have 39 students in it. We normally have 3 teachers for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. And that's based on approximately 20 students per teacher. 5th grade's going to be low. We could, in theory, move that teacher to fill one of the retirement, one of the positions open in the elementary school to retirement. That's, I'm going to guess, that's probably $80,000. We discussed a number of these things, and we didn't, in the end of the day, elect to do it, but some of these are pretty benign, but we have not had a chance to do a lot of homework on this proposal.
Thank you. You haven't completely answered my question, but you've addressed it. Thank you.
There's a whole lot of people.
Hi, my name is Ari Cassidy, and I'm here today to represent the students of Woodsville High School in support of keeping the driver education program, especially in our school. I'm not here to dictate facts. I'm sure you know the risks teen drivers take, and you don't want to hear about the deaths that happen in car accidents yearly. But I do want you to know that since Mr. Hall has taught at Woodsville High, there has been no fatal car accidents and very few non-severe accidents. He is an amazing teacher, and he cares about his students and wants us to be as safe as possible when we leave the parking lot. He cares about us, goes about to accommodate, and he is willing to come early or stay late for students who participate in sports during first and fourth quarters. As a student, I feel losing this program will not only make most of the incoming school population unhappy, but cutting it will not make our school attractive for the students that have a choice of schools. They won't want to go to Woodsville because as time goes on, more and more programs are being cut, so why go to school that has almost no option for basic mandatory courses? To the parents attending this meeting, I want you to think about this before you vote. Are you willing to give transportation to your children or grandchildren until they are 18 and possibly beyond? Like to their first job, their sports games, meeting with a teacher after school to make up a quiz. Or you could pay almost $1,000 to have them attend another driver education program in Hanover, which you would have to give them transportation there as well. If you all want the best for the future generations to make this town and school a better place, then you shouldn't be removing opportunities, but adding and encouraging them and to support what the school does for us 100%. As a Woodsville student, I feel an important opportunity is being taken away from me, and this is my way of telling you that if you want this community to be the ideal place for your children and future generations to grow and learn, then you'd be willing to pay the cost. I'm speaking on behalf of my peers at Woodsville. Thank you.
If you want to say something, get in line. Mr. Bowman?
I move the question.
What did I just tell you? If you have a motion, there are people ahead of you. Get in
Motion does
line.
not need to be
It has
coupled
to
in one.
No, you have to be recognized by the moderator, and all those people are in front of you. So if you'd like to move the motion, get in line. Mrs. Bowman.
Hi, my name is Francine Bowman. I'd like to read a letter that I received from Mr. Steve Grattan, who is the New Hampshire Teen Driver Project Coordinator. Francine, as the coordinator of the New Hampshire Department of Transportation funded teen driver project. I was incredibly disappointed to hear that there is even the possibility of ending Rod Hull's driver ed program at Woodsville High. I have known and admired Rod's innovative approach to teaching driver's ed for at least the last 6 or 7 years. I work with the high schools throughout the state of New Hampshire and can most sincerely say that his knowledge and passion for teaching student drivers is the best there is. You may or may not know that the #1 cause of injury and death for age 15 through 19-year-olds is car crashes. Driving or riding with other teens is the most dangerous activity our teens routinely participate in. I have watched over the years how Mr. Hull has fully engaged his students to see just how serious the responsibility of driving is and how important it is to make good choices as drivers and as students and as citizens. Rod is far more than just an outstanding driver's ed instructor. He is also a respected role model and life coach. I can understand the need to trim budgets, and I can even agree that some of the poorly run driver's ed programs should be considered expendable. But Woodsville High School has the absolutely best program run by the most professional instructor in New Hampshire, Mr. Rod Hull. Please seriously consider what the students in Woodsville would be losing if Mr. Rod Hull is not involved with the life-saving lessons they receive from this outstanding driver's ed program. Woodsville High School should not consider losing Rod Hull. He is truly the superstar of driver ed instruction in New Hampshire. Mr. Steve Gratton, New Hampshire Teen Driver Project Coordinator. And I also would like to quickly read something I received from a past student at Woodsville High School this morning. This is from Peter Wright, who is currently in Afghanistan, and he's a graduate of Woodsville High School in 2010. He's now on active duty. The message reads as follows. When he found out about what was going on with Mr. Hull's position being compromised, his message was this: I may be in Afghanistan, but I do anything to support this man. If there's anything I can do, speak on his behalf, FaceTime during a meeting, anything, I'll do it. He's the heart and soul of safe driving in our area. If we let him go, any other school would be acquiring one of the greatest instructors, friend, or mentor I've ever had. Part of the reason I even made it to the Army and not given up was because of Mr. Hull. He always spoke to me about his military career and his sons. He told me that I needed to strive to be the best I can be. He said I could do anything I set my mind to. His guidance and direction, outside of just the driver's ed, helped push me to where I am today. He was one of my advisors, and when I was a part of Students Against Destructive Decisions, the SAD program. So with that said, as a taxpayer and a parent of someone who will be taking driver's ed next season, it is my hope that today we can come to an agreement to find a way to accommodate Mr. Hull so that he continues to teach driver's ed to our students without having a negative effect on his income, his health benefits, or his retirement. Thank you.
Hi, Barbara Doppelmore, a retired educator, 37 years experience locally as well as worldwide, having taught in many, many schools. My question is, for more clarification, the board said they looked at 3 areas which cuts might be possible. I would like to hear more about the administrative end. That's my question.
That wasn't clear. They had trouble hearing.
I would like to hear more about what you looked at the administrative end, like principals, assistant principals.
Hi, Marianne Aldridge. What we have proposed and are looking at is keeping a principal in the K through 8 model so that the principal would be able to serve in that leadership role at both schools, and then there would be an administrative assistant principal that would serve in that role. So it would be a little bit of a budget reduction, allowing the same amount of presence and bring some better continuity to both schools.
So I'm understanding you would have a principal covering K to 8 and an assistant principal to help dealing with both buildings.
Two, one in each school, so the presence would not change.
Okay.
There would just be one principal rather than two principals, one principal K through 8 rather than one principal in K through 3, and one in 4 through 8.
So one would be housed in each building?
Sorry?
One would be housed in each building?
No, there would be one full FTE principal, and then there would be one full FTE in K through 3, one full FTE in 4 through 8, but they would serve as assistants.
I got it. One principal, two assistants.
You got it.
Okay, how about the high school level?
Got any changes at this point?
So at this point, we would still have a principal and a dean of students at the high school serving slightly over 200.
Currently, if there are budgetary changes, we would have to look at a lot of different things.
I would suggest that be a place you look at changing.
Thank you.
No, there's two girls in front of you. Right here. Okay, they told you to go first, then go.
Joe Mitchell from payroll. I would like to know, and I'm sure the taxpayers would like to know from the school board, what is going on with these 3 huge fuel oil tanks that were purchased and not being used?
We're going to hold that to the budget discussion because, well, no, this is just, we're just talking about $250,000. So what I'm going to do, what I'll do is I'll call you, after we deal with the motion, I'll call you up to ask that question, all right? All right? Go ahead. We're just talking about the impact of the cuts. That's all we're talking about.
All right, so my name is Grace Flynn, and I'm from North Haverhill. And I'm Hope Talbot, and I'm also from North Haverhill. And we didn't plan anything like flashy. We didn't even think we were going to talk today. But we just want to say that, like, we both went through Mr. Hull's driver's ed program, and it had such an impact on us, you know, to kind of, there's a lot of people with lower incomes in our towns who can't afford, if Mr. Hull was to start it as a business, who can't really afford to do that. So, you know, the fact that if the school supports this, and then students can keep going in the driver's ed program, you know, okay, sorry, I'm very illiterate today. So, me and my older sisters all went through the driver's ed program, you know, with the school's help, and it was affordable, and it taught us all how to drive. Now, I have 4 younger siblings who are gonna, if this happens, are gonna end up paying $1,000 to learn how to drive. And if they don't, then they can wait until they're 18 and, you know, learn to drive with my parents, and after that, they can get their license. But driver's ed really teaches students how to drive. There's no arguing with that. Just, you know, it'll prevent accidents and, oh, you go ahead, kind of.
Okay, so a lot of people keep getting up here and saying, you know, we're here for the students, we want to discuss for the students, so I think it's important to hear what the students are thinking. One of the main reasons a lot of students choose to go to Woodsville High School is because of our athletics. And I think we have one of the best communities, or some of the best community support ever. You know, you go to our games, we have the biggest crowd, we always have the most people there supporting our students in every way. Well, driver's ed, that a lot of people don't know, is one of the main things that is supporting our student athletes. I know a lot of our teams would not have the people that they have playing on their teams if driver's ed was becoming a private business or whatever it needs to become. I heard from Mr. Hull that if it does become a private business, he will not be teaching in the morning because it is too hard. So that takes away student athletes that have practices after school that now have to go to this driver's ed private business thing that they need. So driver's ed as a whole, just for the students at our school, it's definitely a big help. It's helping out everybody. We love it. We love Mr. Hull, and we're just hoping you hear us students if that's what you really want to help out with.
I'm gonna make this quick.
Let me explain something to people, because 2 people now have said something that is not correct. A motion to move the question does take precedence once the person is recognized by the moderator.
But this is a meeting where people have the right to speak. And what I have done, because there's such a large group, is ask people to get in line to speak. If a person who is in line wishes to move the